वन लाइफ वन मिशन, और वो है मेरी भारत माता। जनता जनार्दन में सरकार क्या होती है, सरकार क्यों होती है, सरकार किसके लिए होती है, सरकार कैसे काम करती है, इसको पहली बार अनुभव किया। हम विकास का नया अध्याय लिखेंगे, गुड गवर्नेंस का नया अध्याय लिखेंगे, जनता जनार्दन की भागीदारी का नया अध्याय लिखेंगे, और सब मिलकर के विकसित भारत के सपने को साकार करके रहेंगे। मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी।
Narendra Modi took oath for a historic third term as India's Prime Minister.
भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा।
And along with him, a 71-member strong Council of Ministers was sworn in. This is a fairly big Council of Ministers compared to 2014 and 2019, as allies had to be accommodated. For the first time in 10 years, the Modi-led BJP had to depend on NDA partners after falling short of the halfway mark on its own. But when it came to his ministers, Narendra Modi ensured that continuity is the cornerstone of his government. He was essentially guided by three mantras: reposing his faith in his top 4 lieutenants on Raisina Hill, rewarding key performers who have acted like the engine of his government in the previous term, and giving respect to NDA partners.
Continuity is the big message from Team Modi 3.0. I'm on Raisina Hill, where all the 4 top ministries, the Home Ministry, the Defence Ministry, the Finance Ministry and the External Affairs Ministry have seen their respective ministers continue in their posts. Mr. Amit Shah continues as the Home Minister because he's led this incredible effort for the internal security of the country in the last 5 years. Mr. Rajnath Singh continues as the Defence Minister as he has cut down on the defence imports in the Make in India initiative and also increased the exports of defence from the country. Nirmala Sitharaman has been the story of the high growth engine of India, how the economy figures have started looking positive for India in the last few years and the recovery post the COVID pandemic. On the other hand, Mr. S. Jaishankar comes with a strong domain knowledge of the area of diplomacy and how India has been expanding its efforts to become the Vishwaguru and also be the voice of the global south. All these 4 ministers also have strong expertise in their respective fields, and that is why Mr. Narendra Modi has reposed his faith in his top 4 lieutenants to take India's growth story ahead in the next 5 years.
I've really deemed it a matter of great satisfaction that in the last decade, this ministry under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi has become a very people-centric ministry. Looking ahead, definitely I think the 2 axioms that the Prime Minister has given us, Bharat First and Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, these will be the 2 guiding axioms of the Indian foreign policy. So, and together we are very confident it will position us as Vishwabandhu, a country which is in a very turbulent world, in a very divided world, a world of conflicts and tensions. We began the day of swearing in with a neighborhood first affirmation. Our neighboring relationships will be the first priority, will be the overriding priority of the Modi government.
पहले प्रायोरिटीज थी, वही आगे भी हमारी प्रायोरिटीज रहेंगी, और भारत की अभेद्य सुरक्षा और साथ ही साथ भारत की अजेय सेना और हमारे सैनिकों का कल्याण, ये हमारी प्रायोरिटीज में विशेष रूप से शामिल है। यानी हम चाहते हैं एक सशक्त भारत का निर्माण हो, आत्मनिर्भर भारत का निर्माण हो, ये हमारा उद्देश्य है।
The new Modi government has been a balancing act. While many old faces were retained, there were also many fresh faces that found place in Modi's Council of Ministers. Regional stalwarts like Shivraj Singh Chauhan and Manohar Lal Khattar were brought in, and BJP President JP Nadda returned to the cabinet.
3 notable entries in Team Modi 3.0 are from the states. Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, a multiple-time chief minister, Mr. C.R. Patil, the former president of BJP in Gujarat, and Mr. Manohar Lal Khattar, the former chief minister of Haryana, have made an entry into the union cabinet, and all with heavyweight ministries. Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan has been given the charge of both the Rural Development Ministry as well as the Agriculture Ministry. Mr. C.R. Patil is in charge of the very, very important Jal Shakti Ministry, which is driving the Har Ghar Jal program to take pipe drinking water to every household in the country by next year. Mr. Manohar Lal Khattar has also been given charge of the very, very important Power Ministry as well as the Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry. What explains the decisions is the expertise that these people bring as from the states from where there have been chief ministers or the organizational heads, the expertise they bring which will put to good use. Especially Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, who's credited for transforming the agriculture and the irrigation situation in Madhya Pradesh over the years, is bringing his strong experience on that front to the rural sector of the country.
किसान अन्न के भंडार भरता है और कृषि भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था की रीढ़ है। मैं शिवराज सिंह चौहान जो सारे देश को ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं, अन्न खिलाता है, अन्नदाता कहलाता है। उस किसान का कल्याण प्रधानमंत्री जी की सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता है। कृषि से ही भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था और मजबूत होगी। जो सबसे पहले फैसला लिया वो किसान के हित में ही लिया। किसान सम्मान निधि जारी करने का उन्होंने फैसला किया है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार ने पहले भी किसानों के कल्याण में कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ी। किसानों की सेवा, जनता की सेवा हमारे लिए भगवान की पूजा है।
Another key mantra of the Modi government has been to reward those who don't get into controversies, put their head down and work. The portfolio list reflected this.
Nitin Gadkari, Ashwini Vaishnav, Jyotiraditya Scindia. These are some of the examples in Team Modi 3.0 who have been clearly rewarded for their good performance, for not getting into any controversy, but also performing on the various development metrics that the Prime Minister really cherishes. Ashwini Vaishnav is now the Minister of Railways, IT, as well as Minister of I&B. Mr. Nitin Gadkari will continue in his third term as the Minister of Road Transport and Highways. And Mr. Jyotiraditya Scindia, after a successful stint at the Ministry of Civil Aviation, is now moving to the very, very crucial Ministry of Communications and Telecom, as well as the Ministry of Development of Northeastern States. This young blood of the Modi government is said to be its engine, which is going to be driving Modi 3.0 towards the bigger aim of the country becoming the third largest economy of the world and spending the maximum of the capex funds that every union budget is now earmarking.
प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने रेलवे में बहुत बड़े सुधार किए हैं। रेलवे का इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन हो, नई पटरियां बनानी, नए तरह की ट्रेन्स लानी, स्टेशंस का रीडेवलपमेंट, ये 10 वर्षों की प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की बड़ी उपलब्धियां हैं। और रेलवे को एक इसलिए फोकस पे रखा है प्रधानमंत्री जी ने क्योंकि रेलवे साधारण नागरिकों की, आम नागरिकों की सवारी है और अपनी देश की अर्थव्यवस्था की एक बहुत मजबूत रीढ़ की हड्डी है।
New government that has been formed has 3 C's embedded in it. C for continuity, so which means that those ministries which require policies to be continued are headed by those people who have delivered over the last 10 years. C for capabilities, that means induction of new talent, new merit in areas where we need to go faster. And C for clarity, the vision of Prime Minister Modi for Viksit Bharat is clear, and to deliver on that, the entire government has a whole of government approach. So these 3 C's are there, but obviously there is a C for cynicism that the opposition is continuing to give even after 10 years, and those who haven't been able to reach even 99-100 seats after 10 years will continue to espouse this. We have a formula called NARA formula, N-A-R-A, which is also the first name of our ally partner Nara Lokesh and Nara Chandrababu Naidu. National ambition, regional aspiration. And no better than Prime Minister Modi, who himself was a big leader of Gujarat and who then came to Delhi, understands this. And therefore, for us, alliance is not about power sharing. For us, alliance is about nation building, and that can't happen without regional aspirations being taken along.
But there were also some who didn't make the cut. At least 20 BJP heavyweights are not part of Modi 3.0. Former Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Irani, who lost the Amethi constituency to Gandhi loyalist KL Sharma, was dropped from the cabinet. Anurag Thakur, who was the Minister of Information and Broadcasting, as well as Youth Affairs and Sports, was dropped despite winning from Hamirpur. Rajiv Chandrasekhar, who held portfolios in information technology, electronics, skill development, was also dropped. He lost to Congress's Shashi Tharoor from the Thiruvananthapuram Lok Sabha constituency.
Old wine in a new bottle, says the opposition, but the BJP says, why change something that is working so well? Why change a good combination? This is the aim with which we see this carefully crafted Team Modi 3.0, in which the BJP has been joined by some key allies. And this is the team that Mr. Modi is banking upon to achieve the big aim of India becoming the third largest economy in the world by the end of 2029. This is also the team upon which Mr. Modi is banking upon to keep the growth figures high to ensure a stable and a strong government. On the other side of the break, my colleague Arunima will tell you who are the allies who form the foundation of Team Modi 3.0.
Thanks for staying on. We told you about the BJP strategy so far, but how are the allies faring in Modi 3.0? Has Prime Minister managed to iron out all creases in this government, which truly is a coalition government where Prime Minister depends on the support of allies for the survival for 5 years? Or are the Chanakyas of Bharat just waiting and watching, contemplating their next move?
Modi 3.0 was ushered in amidst intense speculation about the role of allies. Just between Chandrababu Naidu's TDP and Nitish Kumar's JDU, 28 Lok Sabha seats were won, giving the BJP's 240 a much-needed push to cross the magic number of 272. As negotiations continued, Lutyens Delhi, Patna and Amaravati were abuzz about what prize Nitish Kumar, Chandrababu Naidu and other NDA partners would get. After all, coalition dharma had returned to the centre after 10 years.
जनता दल यूनाइटेड भारतीय जनता पार्टी संसदीय दल के नेता आदरणीय श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को भारत के प्रधानमंत्री पद के लिए समर्थन देती है। अब पूरा भरोसा है कि जो कुछ भी बचा है अगली बार ये सब पूरा कर देंगे और जो भी हर राज्य का है, और हम लोग पूरे तौर पर सब दिन इनके साथ रहेंगे और पूरे तौर पर जो कुछ भी है आज जिस तरह से भी ये करेंगे बहुत अच्छा है। और आप जान लीजिए कि कुछ लोग हम लोगों को तो अब लगता है कि अगली बार जो आप आइएगा ना तो इस बार हम देखें कि कुछ इधर उधर कुछ जीत गया है, अगली बार सब हारेगा।
In ancient times also, we had all resources, but recently we are moving very aggressively. The reason is very clear. We are having leader. That leader is Narendra Modi. Now, I proudly propose the name of Sri Narendra Modi ji on behalf of Telugu Desam Party for the post of Prime Minister of this great nation. Through his vision of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and Vikasit Bharat, and through the collective efforts of NDA, we can become a zero poverty nation. That is possible only Narendra Modi ji.
But the euphoria among supporters died down soon after. As the portfolios were announced, it showed clear dominance of BJP and a status quo in most top ministries. Only 11 MPs from the allies were included in the 72-strong Council of Ministers. Of these, only 5 are in the cabinet. Railways and agriculture were two ministries that JDU was keen on.
मोदी ने कहा कि रेल मंत्री जेडीयू कोटे को मिलना चाहिए। क्या लग रहा है रेल मंत्री बिहार से होना चाहिए?
हाँ, बिल्कुल होना चाहिए। हमेशा से हुआ है। विशेष दर्जा भी मिलना चाहिए बिहार को।
But both railways and agriculture were retained by the BJP. Even ministries like information technology, which is a pet sector of Naidu, and Jal Shakti, which is of interest for Bihar parties, are all being headed by BJP ministers.
Even the top four at Raisina Hill, as expected, maintained status quo, and the wrangling soon shifted to the Lok Sabha Speaker's chair. But enough indication that the Bharatiya Janata Party would not let go of this post either.
The situation soon led to the opposition making Jhunjhuna jibes and claiming that BJP allies were shortchanged.
इंडिया गठबंधन के दलों को जिस बात की आशंका थी, वो पूरी तरह से सच साबित हुई। ये पूरा जो इंडिया घटक दलों, एनडीए घटक दलों को जो मंत्रालय मिला है, वो मंत्रालय अगर आप देखेंगे तो उस मंत्रालय की सूची में एनडीए के घटक दलों को ना तो गृह मिला, ना रक्षा मिला, ना वित्त मिला, ना विदेश मिला, ना वाणिज्य मिला, न रेल मिला, न सड़क मिला, न कृषि मिला, न शिक्षा मिला, न स्वास्थ्य मिला, न दूरसंचार मिला, खाली हाथ में झुंझुना मंत्रालय मिला, झुंझुना मंत्रालय।
The TDP was the first to dismiss any such charge.
Very sorry for the opposition parties also. Everything has been so beautifully done, the swearing in ceremony, and we have been giving unconditional support to the NDA also. So they have nothing else to speak about, that they are talking about already some cracks and all, but there is no scope for anything to come in between TDP and the NDA. And we are very much happy with the ministry here, not just Civil Aviation Ministry, we've got MOS for Rural Development and Communications. This holds a lot of scope for the development of Andhra. Like you see, if you ask for the last 5 years, the way Jagan has plundered the state of Andhra Pradesh, if you ask what ministries you want, I would say that I want all the ministries. Is it possible? It's not possible. So whatever we get, the whole idea was to coordinate with the other ministries, have good relations with all of them, and take complete support from the NDA and do best in all departments.
These face savers aside, the challenges of a coalition government are already apparent. The Eknath Shinde faction of the Shiv Sena has asked why even after winning 7 Lok Sabha seats, they have only been given one MOS independent charge. When parties with 1 or 2 MPs like the JDS, HAM and Apna Dal have a better deal. The Ajit Pawar faction of NCP has gone public with their resentment over the offer of an MOS post.
मैं स्वयं भारत सरकार का कैबिनेट मंत्री पहले रह चुका हूं और इसलिए हमने उनको यही कहा कि भाई देखिए, ये आपने जो ऑफर दी है, हमें खुशी है कि आपने हमको एक सूचना भेजी, लेकिन मेरे लिए थोड़ा ये कठिन है कि हम ये पोस्ट को हम पूर्वी में मैं कैबिनेट मंत्री रहे कारण मैं नहीं स्वीकार कर सकता। इसमें कोई ऐसा मतभेद नहीं है, कोई मतलब जो भी कोई अटकलें लगाई जा रही ऐसी कोई भी बात नहीं है। सब कुशल है, सब ठीक है और हमको ये भी कहा गया है कि कुछ दिनों की आप राह देखिए, हम इसको दुरुस्त करेंगे।
After 10 years of having a single party majority, Narendra Modi is facing a new political reality. A coalition government could also prove challenging for BJP when it comes to implementing its core agenda. Uniform Civil Code, One Nation, One Poll were all in BJP's manifesto. Muslim reservation is an issue that both Modi and Shah have attacked the opposition over. But it's the Agniveer scheme which is currently a flashpoint.
जेडीयू जनता की भावनाओं के साथ है, जनता के और पूर्व सैनिकों के एक बड़े हिस्से ने इस पर ऐतराज जताया, इसलिए इसको पॉइंट बाय पॉइंट रिव्यू करना।
What's your position on UCC? Please clarify.
UCC. Chief Minister has written to the UCC, Vidhi Ayog Chairman, Law Commission Chairman, all the stakeholders must be taken into confidence. There should be a wider discussion with the all political party and different sectors.
Reservation is something that we stand by from day one. See, Telugu Desam Party only knows Telugu people, and we are here for the welfare of Telugu people. We don't know caste, we don't know religion, we don't know region. So we stand for the welfare of Telugu people and we stand by 4% reservation. It will be implemented in Andhra Pradesh.
The allies have voiced their concern but are more or less playing along at the moment. The bigger challenge for the Modi government is to fulfill their financial aspirations. Both Andhra Pradesh and Bihar want special status or funds under any other name. So can a special case be made out for these two? Will the other states not cry foul? Does fiscal prudence allow such a move? Or will the need to survive in Bihar ahead of assembly elections and the survival needs here at the centre force North Bloc to loosen its purse strings? Delhi, Patna, Amravati are all waiting and watching.
आज भारत दुनिया की सबसे तेजी से विकसित होती बड़ी इकोनॉमी है। राष्ट्र प्रथम की यही भावना भारत को आत्मनिर्भर बनाए। हम अपने युवाओं को शिक्षा, रोजगार, स्वरोजगार हर क्षेत्र में सशक्त करेंगे। विकसित भारत के लक्ष्य के लिए हम खूब मेहनत करेंगे, जमकर मेहनत करेंगे। हमारे पास रुकने का, थमने का समय नहीं है। देश के इतिहास में महिलाओं द्वारा वोटिंग के सारे रिकॉर्ड टूट गए। इस प्यार, इस अपनेपन को मैं शब्दों में बयान नहीं करता। ये मेरे भावों में, ये मेरे मन मस्तिष्क के कोने कोने में रचा बसा।